Life moves fast and it is not going to slow down for us unless we take a stand, step in, and make something change. That is what we were talking about today, and today this is a collaboration with my good friend here on YouTube, Juli at A Beautiful Horizon. Thank you so much, Juli, for doing this collab with me, and definitely go check out her video and subscribe to her channel if you're not already. Her link is down below. You probably know the feeling of being torn in a lot of different directions, spread thin, the feeling of just constant stress and constant anxiety because you cannot seem to catch up, you cannot seem to get ahead, you cannot seem to keep your head above water or meet all the needs and all the demands that you see in front of you every single day. How do we slow down? How do we figure out how we're going to have the life that we want to live now, today? Not tomorrow, not when there's less work to do, not when our kids are older, not when the weather's nicer. How do we figure out how we live the life we want to live now? First, we have to know where the stress is coming from. Two things: distractions and being discontent. Those two things can certainly drive us to places that are not good for us to be. So distractions can certainly keep us from living our best life and keep us from living the life that we would love and truly enjoy. So definitely take a look at what are the distractions, what are some things that you find yourself getting distracted by. Is it Instagram? Is it YouTube? Is it television? Is it chatting on the phone or texting? Being discontent, we might be comparing ourselves a lot. We might be trying to meet other people's expectations, or we even have really high expectations of ourselves. So we need to look at those expectations and decide whether or not they're actually worth it. Do those expectations line up with the life that you truly want to be living, the dream life that you have in your head? Because you're not going to get what's up here into reality by trying to meet everyone else's expectations or having the wrong expectations for yourself. So definitely reevaluate those expectations and figure out if they line up with what you really want your life to look like. The key word here is to prioritize, and to be honest, guys, prioritizing can be painful because if you're saying yes to one thing, you're saying no to something else and probably many other things. And so that can be really painful and hard and awkward, and it takes practice to say yes to the right things and no to all the other things that are not lining up with the way you want your life to actually look. To help ease that pain just a little bit, always start with the end in sight. Because if you know why you want to start doing what you're doing in the first place, saying no to everything else is not going to be as painful because you know that you're going to be getting something better in the end. I feel like I could sit here and rant to you all day long about all the reasons why we are moving too fast and why it's so important to slow down, but I think, to be honest, you already know why it's so important to slow down. I think that if this is resonating with you at all, you already have the answers inside of you, and it just takes a little bit of time, a little bit of encouragement to step back and think about it and write it out or talk to someone about it and figure out what you want your life to look like, and then start cutting the fat, basically. Trim the fat and get rid of the things that are keeping you from living that life you want to live. So maybe some examples would be helpful. I don't know. Would examples be helpful? In my life, what's an example in my life? I'll have to think about that. For me, one of the things I want to do less but better, as Juli says in her Instagram post, I really want to focus on my family and focus on my children specifically. I have 3 kids, 3 and under, and where do I begin? They each have very unique needs. They're all individuals, obviously, and they need different things from me at different times in different ways, and it becomes really hard to remember all of those things and to meet all of those needs in the right ways and to be intuitive. That's the big thing. I need to learn how to be intuitive for my children so that I can meet their needs, because they are not always good at communicating that. Sometimes when it looks like my son needs discipline, what he really needs is a hug and to be reminded that he is deeply loved. And that makes a huge difference in our day if I can be intuitive to those needs and meet those needs for him. And so I am trying to do less on the outskirts of my life so that I can focus in on these 3 little people and learn to be intuitive for them so that I can really know them well and meet their needs. Other ways that this shows up in my life is to the whole doing less but doing it better thing. Present over perfection has been kind of a motto of mine lately to live by, because I want to do a little bit of homeschool stuff with my son. I know nothing about homeschool stuff at all, but I know that if I show up and I am present, that is going to do so much more than worrying about being perfect. Slowing down, focusing in on being present, on doing your very best at the job that's at hand is going to help you be more successful in the long run. Then we need to come and we need to talk about rest. Julie talks about rest, and I talked about rest as well on my Instagram page. Can rest be productive? Sometimes we think we have to go, go, go and do in order to be productive. To be honest, guys, I really do believe that rest is a productive thing. It doesn't feel like it. You're just sitting there, you're not doing anything, and it has to be well-timed and well-planned rest, but when you do it, it is going to help you be more productive in the long run. And productivity can look a lot of different ways. For me, productivity might mean getting more done in a day. Productivity could also mean growing. It could mean that you are giving yourself a place to grow. And if you are not resting at all or not enough, you're not going to be able to let those roots go down deep and get strong so that you can be sturdy when the winds come, basically. Especially when you are a mom, whether you're working or you're at home, you need to allow that space for yourself. And it's hard to find it. I know it is. I struggle with it myself, and I'm pretty sure every other mother out there struggles with this, that it's hard to find that time and that space to rest because you just don't feel, you either feel like you don't deserve it, or you're not allowed to have it, or you feel guilty for leaving everything else behind. But it is vital to your well-being and your family's well-being. You are not well and you are not thriving, the people who are following you are not going to be doing well or thriving either. And where you are going, they're following you. You are a leader in your home, and so it is so important for you to get this stuff. We won't get this right the first time. It's certainly trial and error, and it's working at it and chipping away at it and peeling back the layers, things like that, because it is a very reflective process. But there is so much good that comes out of it. Even if you just like dabble in this a little bit, you're going to start learning things about yourself that are important in order to make that life that you see in your head reality. And like I said, be leading people in your family or wherever you're working, leading them well, because we can't lead people well if we are not doing well. So Julie's post, she asked some great questions at the end of her Instagram post, and it was, what do you want to focus on more with intentionality, and what is it that pulls you away from that? That's what you need to be asking yourself, is what do I want to be doing with more intentionality? What is up here that I want to see in reality? And what is it that pulls me away from that? Start thinking about that, write it down, talk to someone about it, and start coming up with a plan for how to change those things. What can you pull out, and what can you plug in its place in order to make what you want your life to look like a reality. Thank you so much for stopping by. Again, if you are not subscribed, please subscribe down below and go check out Julie's video. The link is in the description box below. You're going to really enjoy her video, I'm sure of that. And be sure to subscribe to her channel as well. Like this video, share it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.